So here's Pastor Bishop Mar Emmanuel.
On Monday night.
Australia, Monday night, 7 p.m.
Oh, man.
And we just had him on 4 months ago. Incredible message he gave. 4 Assyrians, me, Vinny, and Georgienko that was on here. Play this clip. The moment he's about to stab him, stop it. Stop. Right there. Okay. So he stabs him multiple times. Go back to the other Twitter on the couple other clips. If you can go back to my Twitter account and show the other video where Bishop Marmari is on the ground being attended to right there. If you can make this one bigger. And this is him. He's lifting up the cross. He's bleeding. Okay. So he's moving. He's in stable condition. They end up taking him to the hospital. Okay. Now, you can stop this. Go to the other clip, Rob, of the guy, the guy who actually stabbed him. If you have that clip as well on the other side, they took it down. I don't know why they took it down. Did you download the other video? Okay. There's another video of him being talked to by others. I actually have the video here that I can send you to show. They're talking to him, and he's on the ground, and they're asking him in Assyrian, Mishal Manila in Assyrian means, is he a Muslim? They're asking him. If you can turn on the Bluetooth.
That's the guy?
By the way, look at the face of evil, bro. If that isn't a demon, I don't know what is.
Rob, I'm sending the video to you if you can have it and show this.
He was saying Allahu Akbar.
He
said Allahu Akbar. Pretty sure nothing positive is coming out of that.
Listen, we don't want to speculate. We're just showing you what the Mishal Manila, that can be interpreted as he is a Muslim, or it can be interpreted as a question. Mishal Manila, is he Assyrian? So you don't know which one it is. So we have to make sure we get full context.
Okay.
So people are not saying we're choosing one side or another, because the first thing people said is they said he was a Zionist Jew. That was the first reaction on Twitter. People saying, "Look, no, that's definitely not the case." You just play from the beginning, Rob.
And look at this face, Tom. Look at.
Mishal Manila.
What does that mean?
He's a Muslim.
He's a Muslim. And these guys speak Arabic. These are Assyrians from Iraq. Look.
But you got to see when they show his face.
Look at this.
بس ليش عم بيسب رسولي ما كنت جيت لهون؟ إذا عم بيدخل حلب ديني ما كنت جيت لهون، بس ما عم بيدخل حلب ديني.
What language are they speaking?
Arabic right now.
مالتك حبيبي إذا الفاني فاني.
You see his face with a smile on his
على
face.
شيطانك شوف شو يسوي عليه. إذا هو بس حكى عن دينه ما كنت جيت، بس لا بده يتعشى حوله.
He's not happy.
And here comes Satan's helper's face.
You fucking what? What? People are praying you're gonna come and do this?
Don't.
You're gonna fucking do this?
Just let go. Just go, please. You're gonna make it worse.
No.
Yeah. So you see.
Well, we saw him smiling.
Yeah, of course. You see him doing this. So, anyways, what's the point of this? By the way, most people don't know this. Bishop Marmari took himself and I think 55 people from his congregation to Gaza in November.
Yep.
So he goes to Gaza in November to go visit a Christian church in Gaza, and he tells the story of a 3-year-old kid that he sees, and they stop and they talk to the kid, and they gave something to the kid, and then they went on the bus, they got money, they give it to a bunch of different people. He's given this beautiful message. By the way, if you go on Twitter, the video is right below one of the ones I posted as well, where you listen to the message of what the experience was like going to Gaza. He's given a unifying message right there, that one right there at the top. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one right there, Rob. Oh, man, it's too long. I don't want to play the whole thing. But he's given the whole testimony of what happened when he went there. And then right afterwards, 5,000 Assyrians are protesting outside. Let the man out. Let the criminal out. I don't know if you've seen, do you have that video or not?
It's wild.
If that's the one, Rob, if you want to play that, go for it.
They're saying bring him out.
Yeah, of course. Apparently, there are some reports that they cut his fingers off on his right hand.
Vinny, how do you process this? Vinny?
Well, first of all, I prayed for him yesterday. I prayed for him today. What an amazing guy. Just going back and reminiscing on some of the clips from the PBD podcast that he was talking about. He fears nothing, and he goes, "If I get attacked, like it just an amazing soul." I don't get into the politics of, oh, he's in this church or that church. He's a Christian man. He's preaching the word of God, and apparently this goes to the testament of his character. Tom, the young guy who was like 15 years old that stabbed him.
He was 16.
16 years old.
Correct.
Marmar got up, head bleeding, put his hand on his head, and prayed for the guy that stabbed him. Think about that. And number two, look at how the Lord works. Evil is ignorant. This moron, his blade didn't retract all the way. So if you guys see it online on your own, he goes to stab, and then he looks at the knife because it didn't open. Talk about God intervening. It could have been a lot worse, but apparently they cut this guy's fingers off. That's just from Australians that were messaging me saying it. It's just, what evil, like we are at, besides just a world war, guys, there's a spiritual war happening with good and bad. I know Tom wants to say something about it's a war on our kids. It's a war on our minds. It's a war on the food that we eat. We are under attack from all freaking angles, and that disgusts me that in the church. By the way, if that happened here at our church, that dude would have been shot 50 times. Australia, I know they have very, very strict gun laws, so there's nobody. That dude would have been shot in church within seconds.
Because you're saying somebody would be carrying Second Amendment. So you're saying you would be less tempted to do something like that in America where Second Amendment is available versus in a place like Australia.
100%. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I think this is just the atrocity of mankind, and it's broken men living in a broken world. And you've got people that are radicalized by a certain faith, and that faith has at its core the extinction of others. Anything that is an infidel is subject to extinction. That's the way it is. And you've got, take a look at Catholics and Christians that are reaching out and trying to send missionaries into area to communicate the love of Jesus Christ and the healing power of Christ as a solution for the broken world, versus let's exterminate anyone else. And this precious man who went into Gaza, went on a mission trip there, touched the lives of people, goes back to his pulpit, and you have a radicalized youth that comes to him. And when I say radicalized, I also think about the UK researched thoroughly. Remember the subway bombings in the UK? Mm-hmm. And they researched it, and they found, what was that? I think it was 3 specific radical clerics that were in northern London, I believe it was, that had radicalized and incented to violence the people that planted those bombs that were on the London tubes. And that is, you have to go upstream to it and find out, where is this issue? And I'm glad that this cleric survived, and I'm glad that he was very Christ-like. When Christ was arrested before he was crucified, you can read the scripture that one of his own apostles, Peter, drew a sword in a moment of anger and cut the ear off a Roman soldier. His name was Malchus. Christ reached up and healed the ear on the spot and said, "This is not what this is about." And so I compared that and this man reaching out and praying for him. I have deep respect and being Christ-like, even as he was moments from possibly being martyred himself.
Go ahead, Adam.
I'll add one thing, and thank God, literally, that he's doing okay now. This 16-year-old boy who they believe to have said Allah Akbar.
That's what Australians are messaging me that was said.
I'm just going to come out and say, typically, rarely, nothing good happens after you hear Allah Akbar. It's never like flowers and roses and bunny rabbits. It's stabbings and shootings and bombs. But no disrespect. That's kind of what it's associated with. But this 16-year-old, by the way, there's a history on this guy. He was released for good behavior after a previous knife stabbing crime in January.
Where? In Australia?
In Australia.
Oh, great.
So there is a conversation, especially what's going on in Israel, about allegedly there's 30,000 dead. They say that 13 to 15,000 of them have been actual Hamas. I'm sort of correlating the two. But my question is this. They say that women and children have been killed. As if a woman can't be a terrorist, as if a 16-year-old can't be a part of Hamas. We're seeing this play out in real life. And I have moderate friends who are Islamic, Jewish, Christian. We have to figure out a way to eliminate the radicals and the extremists from society and bring them back to moderate lifestyle. You've interviewed a guy who I think one time left ISIS, left Al-Qaeda, I believe, and came back to a moderate lifestyle. You've interviewed a few people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, but even the debate that we did the other day with a couple Muslims that were here, and, you know, we had a couple Christian guys that were here also talking, giving their perspective. The Sharia law was one of the conversations that if a country is being ran under Sharia law, you would be killed because that's what the laws are. And here's one of the most open, honest guys that's being interviewed, and the interviewer's almost blown away. This is in Canada, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, I actually appreciate the fact that you're being straight up honest. Watch this right here. Go ahead, Rob.
What happened to a gay couple in Palestine, sir?
What?
What would happen to a gay couple in Gaza?
Executed according to Islamic law. Islam doesn't endorse gayism. Islam doesn't endorse homosexuality. Just like Canada doesn't endorse a lot of things.
So would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Wow. Your population is going down the slump, right? And by 2060, according to Pew Research Institute, your research, by 2060, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. What are you going to do then?
Actually,
are you going to oppose Sharia even then?
Well, you know what? I'm very appreciative of the honesty. We don't usually get that.
One day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada, right in your face.
Right.
Oh, it's coming.
By the way,
Yeah. He's
hang
saying
on.
it
By the way,
out loud.
FYI, okay, Christians, Jews, everybody else, what are you going to do about it?
Yep.
You're going to sit there and cry or still stay, well, we just want to have one baby because we want to enjoy our time together and we don't want to have too many kids because it's so hard. Perfect. Then in 2060, he's right. That's exactly what's going to happen. You want to do something about it? Go make some money, raise good kids, have 4, 5, 6 kids. That's what's going on with them right now. They're having the kids and you're not. So while somebody can sit there and be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You know, even a Bill Maher, oh my God, what's going to happen? Guess what, Bill Maher? Even you ain't contributing to this. How many kids you raising? You're not. You're taking a complete different route. And by the way, that's by choice. Not the fact that I'm not talking to the people that can't because of health and what do you call it? Certain matters that having kids very difficult, guys. It's very complicated. I got a lot of people that spend a lot of money. Schultz did an entire skit at his comedy thing, which you have to see that he was very open and talked about how hard it is to have a kid. He's like, I was always worried about getting a girl pregnant. I realized how hard it is to try to get my wife pregnant. But I'm talking to the people who watch something like this and then go and get angry. Dude, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Sharia law. Then do something about it. Yesterday, I'm being interviewed by this guy that was employee number 30 at Facebook. And he comes in. We have a great conversation together. Fascinating guy. And he was just doing a photo shoot with his wife. First baby they're having. And they're kind of, the pictures you take while you're pregnant with the belly showing and all this stuff.
Maternity
pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done all of them ourselves as well. And it's really cool. You got to go. And he's telling me about this person, took me a Marine and all this stuff. And her husband chose to become photographers. They make 6 figures doing this. And he says, you know what I like about listening to you? I said, what's that? He says, I love how you sell America. I said, how do you sell America? He says, I don't know, but I think the way I sell it is I hire immigrants. I said, we just need to be proud to sell Americans. Because we were talking about the level of respect we have for Khabib, okay?
Yeah.
I'm in the back. I'm talking to Khabib, Ali. I'm friends with a lot of Muslims. We have very, very good relationships together, and we have different denominations. And when I sit with these guys, and they're talking about they're having 5, 10 kids. They have pride in their faith. They have pride in their country. They have pride in their God. You don't have to agree with them. That's a religious debate. But guess what? The faith that they have and the pride that they have in their religion, do we have that same level of faith and pride in our religion? The same level of pride and faith in our country, the fact that America is the greatest country in the world? Do we sell it that way? Because I don't think we're doing a good job selling it the right when it's scaring the crap out of the next generation of wanting to have kids and have a family and settle down. There is fear in people wanting to have kids. So yes, as much as that guy is right, according to Pew Research, by 2060, they're going to be ruling the world and turn a lot of different countries into Sharia. But what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. And you nailed it because you mentioned Bill Maher, who's not only, kids, he hates kids. Okay.
But he complains about Muslims.
Oh, he complains about, exactly.
So what are you doing about it?
Complains about Muslims. And then you know what he said about the abortion thing? He's like, what was the story, PBD, about abortion?
Let me read this.
Please. This is just Bill Maher talking all this shit about Muslims. They already, dude, they're playing the long game. All right? All you guys are talking shit out there, mind you. And again, I have no kids. I'm obviously on the market. Obviously, I'm trying to do my thing. But once I start having them, I'm not going to just have one. I'm going to go for the gusto. You know what I mean? These guys, that guy's
God willing.
Open in your face and telling you what the hell the plan is. That's the plan. I'm happy that the reporter's shocked.
But the part, like what I'd like to see happen is just like when a team is behind, Tom, in sports, what's the first thing you got to do? You call a timeout.
Yeah.
The Christian churches of all the different denominations, imagine if the leaders of every major church and denomination that believes in Jesus Christ, if they all came together, and even Jews, and even whoever, that maybe you're worried about this direction it's going, that we're going to have a Magbat, America, Magbat, Israel, all this stuff that's being said left and right, Sharia law. Okay, what if there's an emergency meeting to have more kids, encouraging from the congregation, from the top, to start having people having more kids, raising better kids? Is that conversation being had? I can tell you for a fact that I would be very, first of all, we can't even get them to be on the same page to be united, but I'd be very doubtful that conversation is being had. Maybe some pockets here and there, but I'd be very doubtful that that's the strategy. They're doing their part, and as an opponent, you got to give them credit. They're out producing babies, they're growing like crazy, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. Tom, final thoughts before I go to the next story.
You know, the Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. And in the book of Psalms and Proverbs, he talks that it is a blessing to have many children around you. And we've seemed to have lost that in an era of self-sufficiency. Forgot what a blessing it is to have a wonderful family around us. And we've traded self-sufficiency for that blessing. And this is one of the consequences that we're going to face.
Adam, short.
As much as I agree with you on the kids, I do agree, but there's also a bigger context here, and that is Western values. You can't move here from countries that you escaped and fled because you don't agree with what they stand for, and then you escape to America or Canada or to Australia or to Norway or to Sweden or to Netherlands, and then try to insinuate and push your values, Sharia law, into Western society. That's what they're talking about, a clash of cultures. You came to these societies for a reason. Appreciate that. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, if you're here, you better back up America. If you're not here, go somewhere else. If you work for a company you don't like, go to a different place. But go wherever you go, defend that company. Anyways, download Minnect. Ask questions of people. So many times people DM others on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You never hear anything back. The reason for it is because the other influencer and expert values their time. On Minnect, you get to pay to get people to respond back to you. One of the things we put up on Minnect app, which I love, you can go to any expert and see how quickly they respond, what percentage at a time, and you'll see some of the guys will be 100% within 1 day. Some of the people will be 70%, 3 days. On Minnect, on average, 85% of the time, you get a response back from people because you're paying for them. And we just announced a Minnect contest to come to South Florida and have dinner with us at the legendary Casa D'Angelo restaurant. On the house, we'll pay for it. And then afterwards, we'll go to our cigar lounge, have a bunch of cigars, conversations, poker, domino, and all the Minnectors get to collaborate together. And simultaneously, we have a contest that we're running. Here's a contest. Lightweight experts, middleweight experts, heavyweight experts. You got a home team. Lightweight is anybody that's never downloaded the app before and they've never done a Minnect before. Middleweight is anybody between 1 to 50. Heavyweight's going to be the ones that have done 51 plus Minnects. We already listed out some of the names right now. Dustin, Calvin, and G, Dennis Panev, Ben Pappas, Chris Como. Home team, it's going to be us competing. Then new users. You're not an expert. You just have a lot of questions. Whoever asked the most questions, new signups versus those who are existing users. If you've never used it, you're competing in this category. If you have used it, you're competing in the other category. And every day this Leaders Bulletin updates. The top 3 get invited to come to Florida. You pay your flight, you pay your hotel. We take you out to dinner at Casa. Then we go to the cigar lounge together and spend a few hours to get a number 1 in each category. We'll sit at the head table with me, but top 3 will be invited. And we will most likely do a raffle for each category that will pull somebody out. And again, you'll be with myself, Adam, Vinny, Tom, our crew. And we'll show you around all the other things that we're doing as well. Cannot wait to see you guys there. That QR code on the top right shows the Leaders Bulletin on every day. It'll be updated to see where you rank. If you can go on the Leaders Bulletin, Rob, so people can see it. Every day you'll have an update on Minnect's Leaders Bulletin to see who you're competing with, at what level. Again, go to the other QR code for them to download the app so they can get started. Go on Apple, Droid, download the app Minnect. Start Minnecting today, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have dinner together. This contest starts today. April 16th, ends May 31st, and the dinner will be a date we'll send to the people that qualify in June. So looking forward to seeing you guys compete for this with Minnect.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.